Recognizes Mr. Obernolte from the great state of California for 5 minutes, sir.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. I'd like to thank you and the subcommittee for including my bill in this hearing, the Streamlining Aviation for Eligible Veterans Act, or SAFE Veterans Act. This important but very simple piece of legislation enables veterans who qualify for vocational flight training through the Veteran Readiness and Employment Program the ability to complete flight training through a flight school. This will increase flexibility for veterans seeking vocational flight training outside of a college degree program while simultaneously working to address the U.S. airline pilot shortage. As we all know, the VR&E program is an important component of veterans' benefits, providing services to eligible service members and veterans with service-connected disabilities to help them prepare for, obtain, and maintain suitable employment or achieve independence in daily living. The program currently requires flight training programs to be tied to traditional four-year college degrees to receive funding. However, most major airlines no longer require college degrees to enter the cockpit. The SAFE Veterans Act takes action accordingly to remove the VR&E degree program requirement specifically for flight training programs, helping to put more veterans in the cockpit. While roughly 2/3 of airline pilots were veterans in 1980, that number has dropped to only around 30% currently. Simultaneously, the United States has experienced a growing pilot shortage over the past decade that's been exacerbated in the post-COVID era. As a result, major airlines have resorted to canceling flights, parking regional jets in long-term storage, and leaving travelers stranded. Increasing opportunities for veterans to return to the commercial airline cockpit through the SAFE Veterans Act will address the ongoing pilot shortage while dramatically increasing accessibility of vocational flight training programs for those who have served. And so that's why I'm honored that my bill was included as part of this hearing, and I'm looking forward to working with my colleagues on the subcommittee to get this bill to the President's desk. And it's an honor to be carrying this legislation again. We had broad bipartisan support for it when it passed out of this committee last year. Just to address, Mr. Hubbard, your objections in your testimony, you asserted that the bill removes safeguards. I would vehemently disagree with that. This is a very simple bill. The operative part of the bill is a single sentence. All it does is remove the requirement that flight training programs include a four-year degree. And I would assert, since airlines are no longer requiring a four-year degree, that removing that requirement makes perfect sense because it focuses the efficient use of taxpayer resources to get our veterans the vocational training that they need for the job that they're training for. Ms. Keenan, I appreciated in your testimony that the VFW supports the SAFE Veterans Act. Could you talk a little bit about how this bill brings parity to the flight training within the VR&E program?
Yeah, thank you for the question. Since this is an option for those using their GI Bill benefits, we think this is a reasonable expansion for VR&E recipients. Additionally, if between the veteran and their voc rehab counselor, if it's determined that this kind of education would be beneficial for their employment outcomes, then we see this as a reasonable addition.
Thank you. I would agree, and I appreciate your support. Mr. Chairman, thank you again for the opportunity to testify, and thanks for including the bill in your hearing today. I yield back.